Hi there, this is Mr. Knight, and I'm just wanting to pass on some information regarding the formal assessment diet. So the formal assessments are due to take place from Thursday the 28th of November to Monday the 16th of December inclusive. And as I say, I just want to take you through a few slides, some of which will be familiar to those of you who have sat exams and formal assessments before. But for those of you in S4, most of what I'm about to say will probably be new, so please make sure that you are taking note of any of the important points. So the first point is just about timetables. Timetables have been shared on the Google Classroom. They're also available on the school website. So this is the master timetable that's available in these places. So it highlights every exam that has taken place. One thing that you do need to note is you need to note carefully by speaking to different teachers the exams that you are taking. Okay, so it might be in some subjects that you don't have any exams. You need to be sure that you know when and where your exams are taking place. So first point is to make sure that you double check your timetable and you know when your exams are and you know what you're sitting. The next double check, make sure that based on your exams that there's no clashes. If there are any clashes, please come and let me know so that we can make alternative arrangements. If you get assessment arrangements, you will already have had your individual timetable issued. If there's any issues on those timetables, please also let me know so that we can sort out any of those problems prior to the exam starting next week. And as I say, please do that double check today and let me know if there are any issues so we've got time to sort anything out. So next I'm going to take you through what you need to know for the day of your exams. So first of all, on the day of your exam, I have already mentioned making sure you know where and when your exam is taking place. So first of all, looking at your timetable, but when you arrive on the day of your exam in the dining hall, there'll be a notice board set up, and that will let you know where the exam is taking place. The majority of our formal assessments are taking place in the assembly hall, but there's a lot of exams that are also taking place in classrooms around the school, so please make sure that you look on the notice board for your name and you find out where you're sitting your exam. Make sure you have your SCN number with you, so staff in different classes around the school will be able to help you with getting that number. It's good just to get in the habit of putting that SCN number on your prelim scripts as well as your final exam. That Scottish candidate number, your SCN number, is what the SQA will use for your final exams to identify you, and all of your SQA records will be assigned to that SCN number. So I think it's important that you get in the habit of using that number now for your formal assessments. Please make sure that you are outside your exam room 10 minutes before the exam starts. If you're late, make sure you come and grab a member of SLT immediately so they can get you into your exam as quickly as possible. And make sure you come along with all of the exam equipment that you need and bring a water bottle to stay hydrated during the exam. So as with the SQA exams, every young person sitting an exam will be allocated a seat number. You need to make sure that you sit in your allocated seat number. This is how we'll take registers, so as well as making sure that you're marked present on the day of your exam, it's also about knowing where people have sat for purposes of malpractice, so to make sure that everyone is focused on their own work and not the work of others. So please make sure that you do sit in your allocated seat and write that seat number on your exam script. So when you enter the exam hall, there's certain items that you're not allowed to take in with you. The items that you're not allowed to take in for your formal assessments are the same as those items that you're not allowed to take in to your formal SQA exams. So any electronics, including smartwatches, shouldn't be taken into the exam hall. Mobile phones should not be on your person. So if you were in your SQA exam and you were found to have a mobile phone, even if it was in your pocket and you hadn't have taken that out of your pocket, there would still be action from SQA because you had a mobile phone on your person. So make sure that we're in that habit for the formal assessments as well. Any extra information that aren't allowed in exam halls unless it's stipulated by your class teacher. So any extra information, any books, sketches, written notes, whether that be on paper or written on your hand, are obviously not allowed. Any large pencil cases or calculator cases, you can only take a calculator into an exam where calculators are allowed. Dictionaries where they're allowed, and as I've already mentioned, you can only take notes into exams where this has been agreed prior for that specific exam paper. So your exams will be supervised by a member of staff called an invigilator. The invigilator team are there to supervise the exams. They're there to make sure that the rules are followed. We use the same invigilators for our formal assessments that we do for our SQA exams, so the same rules are followed for both. You need to make sure that you follow any instructions that are given by those invigilators, and they are there for support if you need it. So for example, if you are feeling unwell or you don't have a piece of equipment that you need, put your hand up and speak to one of the invigilators in the room. In terms of leaving the exam hall, so there's different rules when it comes to the SQA exams. However, for the formal assessment diet, you are expected to remain in the exam hall for the duration of the assessment. Okay, so you will not be given permission to leave the hall early unless in exceptional circumstances. So make sure that you are prepared, that you will be there for the full exam and that you're using that time to the best of your ability. So the next quick section is with some information with regards to writing your exam answers. And again, we will be following the same rules and processes that we use for the SQA exam diet. So in your formal assessments, as with SQA exams, you must use a pen, so blue or black ink. SQA asks you not to use gel pens as these can fade, which then obviously makes it difficult when it comes to marking. Please make sure you read the front instructions of the question paper so you know exactly what you're doing. Every year, young people fall into the category where they don't read those instructions and they either answer too much or not enough of the question paper, and because of that, majorly disadvantage themselves. So make sure you are following the instructions and you're following any instructions given prior to the exam by either your class teacher or the invigilator. Make sure you fill in all your details on the front of your paper. So for your formal assessment, I am asking you to put your SCN number on, but also please make sure that you put your name and your class teacher. That will just make it a bit easier when it comes to distributing marking to teachers and making sure everything goes back to the correct place. Make sure you work through the question paper and you check every single page so that you aren't missing anything. So the final section here is just on fairness and making sure that everyone has the same opportunity to do as well as they possibly can. So as I say, everyone should have that fair chance to do the best that they possibly can during their exams. Cheating and causing disturbance during the exams is clearly unfair to candidates and can have serious consequences for your results. And that's not only for your formal assessment results, it is for your SQA exams as well. So there have been incidents in the past due to behaviour and cheating that young people have had marks removed and they have been completely removed presentation from an SQA exam. So please make sure that you are allowing everyone that fair chance to do the best that they possibly can. So that's it from me. As I say, I am asking that you pay careful attention to your timetable, that you know where and when your exams are taking place, that you look for any clashes, and on the day of the exam, you arrive early and you make sure that you check your notice board for the room that you're in and your seat number. If there are any questions before the formal assessments start next Thursday, please let your class teacher or myself know, and I'm wishing you the best of luck.